This is LTV.
Inside Leominster is brought to you in part through the generous support of N.P. Crowley Company Incorporated and by Landmark Self-Storage in Leominster, landmarkselfstorage.com, and by DeCarolis Insurance Agency Incorporated, DeCarolisinsuranceagency.com, and by Enterprise Bank. Enterprise Bank creates success. enterprisebanking.com.
Welcome to Inside Leominster. My name is Dean Mazzarella, Mayor for the city, and thank you for joining us. It is our weekly. We do this every week. If you're just clicking by the stations and you're catching us, or maybe you're watching it on YouTube, I can tell you that we do this every week. And, well, we try to bring information to you so you hear it firsthand, know what's going on, what projects are going on. We try to bring in interesting guests. But we're here for about an hour. And as always, you can call us about anything. 978-534-1626. That's 978-534-1626. It is Thursday. It is the last Thursday of May. I'm not certain as to where the month went, but boy, it went quick. And I remember it just seemed like a couple days ago that it was April, and I wasn't really kind of pumping up or really doing too much promotion for the events that we had in May. And then all of a sudden it was May 1st, and now those events are behind us. Memorial Day coming up tomorrow night starts with the White Cross ceremony at the Veterans Center. And then on Saturday, you can help to flag veterans' graves. And what an honor it would be to honor a veteran. Maybe, you know, a lot of times veterans' families have moved away. Maybe they didn't have a family. And what an honor it would be to, for you to be able to place a United States flag on the grave of a veteran, right? So, speaking of interesting things, let's go right immediately. Let's go to the art report. Is Art there for the art report?
Yes, vacation's over. Here I am.
The picnic is over.
My only question is, was it a paid vacation?
For who?
For me. You never take a vacation. I haven't been off for a couple of weeks. I figured it was a paid vacation.
Oh, no, last week, was I here last week? I don't.
You were not.
Painting the town, you had to do something. I don't know.
Yeah.
You had to rerun.
Yeah, I forget. Something was going on last Thursday that I honestly, I don't know. I give up. Clearly, if I wasn't here, it was a good reason.
You have 1,000 things to do every day.
Yeah, it's like people ask me, like,
remember your own name. People
ask me, like, how do you get dark? I'm like, well, sitting in front of the stairs, sitting out front when we did Paint the Town, we were out there, and Bradley can tell you how hot it was. It was hot.
Yeah,
next year we got to bring we got to set up an awning or something next year, and I just sit there, and of course, just my natural skin, I just darken right up. Next day, everybody's like, did you go on vacation? I said, how? It's 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday.
With the sun, with the skin, et cetera. And
right.
I just saw on the computer Ray Liotta from that movie Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
His sleep.
I saw the movie once, and you know, it was, you know, different than I've only watched, like The Godfather. Like I watched 1 and 2, and I just worry sometimes that movies like that depict us, you know, Italian Americans as being part of the mob or something, and you know, stereotype. And so I watched them each once, but he was you know, Oddfellows, Godfellows. Where was it? Goodfellas. He used to appear on a number of radio shows, you know, after he was out of the witness protection program. He got out.
All right.
He was down in Florida, I think, and he bailed. He couldn't take it. They kept telling him, you can't do this, you can't do that. And, well, by then, I think quite a few of the people had died off or were elderly, and that part of the organization wasn't around anymore. And so he just went out and and just said to the FBI and the witness protection program, yeah, I'm all done. But he appeared on a number of different shows on the radio. You could catch him, and he didn't have a solid 52 cards in his deck. He wasn't all there, as they say.
Yeah, it's interesting. Today, for giving an example, coming home, new pavement. Now the lines are being painted, and that really accents that new nice black virgin, if you will, unmolested pavement of our streets. The town is the birth of Leominster. It's a rebirth. It's amazing how wonderful this place is starting to look. It was wonderful before. Now people are really noticing how great it is.
I got a text on the way in. I got a text.
Everybody that works for the city of Leominster that contributes, and the taxpayers that pay the taxes, so that the city can spend the money to make it look like that.
Well, hopefully Dr. Charles Steinberg's going to be here tonight for our show, and we talk about team, right? You can't do it without the team. You know that. You worked at Digital. It was a team. And I forget where I was the other day at a business, and I said to the young lady, I said, hey, you do a really good job. Are you like in charge here? Or she goes, no, I'm a team member. And I said, well, no, you are on the ball here. You are good at what you do. You must be more than a team member. She goes, no, I'm a team member. I said, okay, let me start the other place. Do you make more than everybody else that's working around here? And she goes, I'm a team member. That's what she said.
That's a good thing.
It's a good attitude. She feels as though.
We have a future businessman in the family, my grandson.
I heard.
About the yard sale?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it, man. I couldn't. I brought him down was it 2 or 3? 3 bags of old golf clubs. And I said, whatever you get from him, Scooter, you get to keep it. It's okay, Papa. He comes out, he's sitting with me, and he's got a calculator in his hand. I said, what's that for? I said, well, we're going to work some deals. I thought I was talking to an auctioneer. This woman stops, she walks over, she's looking. How much for the golf clubs? It was like he was shot out of a cannon. He runs to the end of the driveway. Well, this particular set right here, and he starts talking up about the golf. He gets around, comes back, he's got $120 in his pocket. I told him he could get probably $20 a bag. Wow.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and I told him, good, keep it. And having said that, that's about all I have. It's Summer Stroll. Is that in July or June?
What's that? Summer Stroll, June 11th. June 11th, Summer Stroll.
11th, okay.
June 22nd.
I remember taking him to the first one you had, and he was, I don't know, maybe 5.
Yes.
4. How long have you had that?
I just look forward. I never know.
He had I think it was in front of your store.
Yeah.
They had a pinwheel. You could spin it.
Yeah.
Spun it and he hit jackpot. Somebody says, oh, I know, Susan Cashman says, that runs in the family. You go to Foxwoods and win, your grandson spins the wheel, and he won all school supplies. That was a beautiful thing. Well, having said that, it's time for Rita's Meatballs.
Yes. Good for you. That's a good thing to make. Protein, meat, little cheese, little sauce, a nutritious supper.
Oh, yeah.
Nutritious.
Oh, yeah. Everything but the calamari.
Oh, the calamari's good.
Yeah, have a good one.
When I retire someday, I'm going to travel the world, and I'm going to write a book on, and keep a blog and a Facebook page and all that on where to find the best. It'll be in search of the great calamari.
Yes. Okay, buddy.
All right. That's
sure.
Art from the Art Report. Thank you, Art. Good to hear from you. Just texted out. Well, I was saying things are on the move, and I said, yeah. And I was going to say on the way in, is he here? Oh, cool. I said on the way in, got a call, a text from somebody, and they tried to call, but I couldn't take text. But basically just saying, hey, listen, you got any space downtown? I want to move one of my businesses downtown, and it's getting to the point where there isn't a whole lot of space downtown. So pretty interesting. let me just say, let me just answer this from my office. All right, so our phone number again, 978-534-1626. We have a great guest on tonight. You're gonna have a lot of fun. You will enjoy this. Met him not so long ago, and I literally could have stayed for hours chatting, and but I didn't. I had to let him go. And Dr. Charles Steinberg is going to be our guest, and our phone number is 978-534-1626. We're going to take a little break here, but you know what? We'll be right back. A little citation for you. Thank you. I just want to welcome you. Done a beautiful job in here and up and running again. People might have been familiar with Shaken Dogs right here on North Main Street across from Mason and next to the old Economy Paint. But these are new owners, and just explain like where you're from and what business you were in before. You're a chef, and what's your... Oh yeah. Yeah, there.
All right. Ready?
Sure.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Yudis, and everyone knows me as Val. We're really glad and blessed to be in Leominster right now with this new opportunity for us. It's a family business. It's a great. I've been around for so long. I'm an executive chef. I've been around creating, and I usually say when the momentum becomes like a passion and the dream become love, and this is all we wanted for us. And I hope to see everyone enjoy our hot dogs and milkshakes, our creations. Stop by and Shaken Dog.
So you changed around a little bit.
I
mean, change the menu around.
We did.
Take credit cards. And
now we're taking credit cards, and we switch around. We have to put everything brand new, create a better atmosphere for the family. It's a good family environment now.
You got seating.
Got seating more. Yes, excellent. And I'm really glad to be here.
And you're doing Grubhub, you said?
I'm doing Grubhub. Yes, correct. We're going to do a Grubhub right now. We're going to start next week, and eventually we're going to do Uber Eats and DoorDash in the future. Yeah, we're working on that system too.
You did a beautiful job.
All right, thank you.
Nice. This is your dream come true, because you've been a master chef.
It is.
And all the time you circulate your mind. Someday I want to have my own place, right?
Yeah, it is a really traditional thing with a little bit of touch of finesse and taste, and you know, bring a little bit of Boston to Leominster. This is what we want to do it.
So you're going to have Now's Paint and Val's over here.
Definitely.
Now's and Val's.
Yeah.
Get your paint and come here.
Here we go. Come for a hot dog.
Oh, you did a beautiful job. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you. At LTV 978-534-1626. We're live this afternoon, and thank you. We've got a great guest today. You'll have a lot of fun. We got a chance to meet him and chat with him before, and as I said before the commercial, I could have chatted with him all afternoon, but I couldn't, and he had to go and I had to go, and I said, I'll tell you what, how about coming on our cable show some Thursday afternoon? He said, I'd be glad to. And then I thought, he'd disappear. I'd never see him again. And here he is, Dr. Charles Steinberg. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
He's the president of the WooSox. And you look sharp today. You're all matched out, got a little tan going. Huh?
Well,
Pretty good.
Well, that's a
Styling.
stroke of luck, but thank you. It's great to be here. It's great to be back in Leominster and to see you. We had gone around to a lot of the cities and towns in the off season.
I know, yeah.
And then we wanted to make sure we invited folks to Polar Park, but then we wanted to keep the dialogue going and get back out to the towns and get back out to the cities. And Leominster is prime Red Sox territory. We knew that at Fenway Park.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, let's face it. You know where all the credit cards come through, zip through. You know, with all the demographics and zip codes.
Part of
are,
it's
right?
credit cards, but you know, I just remember coming out here in September of 2012, and because we had a bad year and a bad 2 years, and I had just come back from being away for 4 years, and we knew we needed to reach out. And I just remember going to the Johnny Appleseed Festival in September of 2012, and the fans were so sincere.
Oh yeah, big
they
time.
were just good fans, and I knew. And they told me,
Organic.
yes, because they weren't the fans who are going 3 days a week to Fenway Park.
No.
And they were really devotees of watching on Nesson, and Jerry Remy was a fixture in their homes. And I just remember thinking to myself, the further away you get from Fenway Park, the more the connection and the devotion might really be.
Right.
And I thought about Leominster a lot when we were designing and building Polar Park, because Leominster and Fitchburg, Gardner, I knew that these were really good fans who might appreciate the affordability of minor league baseball. And I think it's been true.
Absolutely. And this is the area, these are the places where people are out gardening or sitting on the front porch, and the radio's going.
I love that. I love
Back
that.
to the days when it was a transistor radio, or one of those radios with about 8 D-cell batteries from Radio Shack in it. That's hardcore.
Yes, I was just telling my girlfriend who's here that I would walk around with a transistor radio, you know, listening to the game, and it's that's a big part of childhood. And then when you do it as an adult, it's nostalgic.
Well, forever. Because you remember who you were listening
Yes.
to the game with, or
Oh my
maybe what
gosh.
you were doing when you were listening to the game, or
Those are the moments that paint the child's canvas. And I'm still a 10-year-old baseball fan, and I still believe in the power of baseball.
we're going to talk about the WooSox and the Red Sox, but we're going to talk a little bit about Dr. Charles Steinberg, because I think you're an interesting guy, because there's many facets of you. There's like, you must have, let me just say, when you're a kid, you must have, this is my opinion, you must have, when you thought about what you wanted to do as a career, I bet you had like 1,000 things that you wanted to do.
Well, I think there were opportunities, but I didn't know that you could dream the dream.
Right.
That's a little different. My parents were very supportive about believing in dreams, but sometimes your dreams are defined by what you see. And
Your surroundings.
Yes, and you grow up, nice Jewish family, middle class in Baltimore. My dad was an orthodontist, so you think about dentistry, you might think about law. You knew you were going to college. You
might own a business.
You might, although I didn't see that as
that
much.
wasn't around
I
you.
saw the professions more. I saw physicians, dentists, lawyers,
Right.
because it was education-based.
Right.
And so that's what I thought. And I would have loved to have imagined I could have a baseball career, but I didn't know you could dream that dream. And it was in my high school, in the last month of senior year, that the school allowed us to do an internship. They didn't even call it that yet, but a senior project for 1 month for free, anywhere you wanted, and the school would set you up with it. I thought I'd be adventurous and go work for a pediatric dentist who was a friend of my dad. I was going to work for Dr. Blumenthal. But down the hall walks Chris Lambert, my buddy, my friend, classmate, and he knew what a baseball fan I was. So was he. And he goes, I heard they'll let us work for the Orioles. I'm like, oh my heavens. I've got my whole career ahead of me for dentistry. I've only got 1 month that I can make what wasn't even a dream come true. And it's been more than a month.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you play baseball as a kid?
Oh, I certainly did.
Were
In
you any
fact,
good? Were you any good?
I was so good
Come on, are you
that I
serious?
got 2 hits in 2 years
Really?
of Little League.
You beat me out maybe by 1.
Come on.
No, it's terrible.
No, I
love the game.
I'm the worst. But I loved it, but no hits in the first year.
Yeah.
2 hits in the second. And years later, in an historic conversation, the worst hitter who ever lived got to tell that to the greatest hitter who ever lived.
Wow.
I got to tell that to Ted Williams.
Come on.
I did. He was
That's
in San
amazing.
Diego. We were with the Padres, and that was his hometown. And he was about 80 years old. And there was a moment, and he said, "Did you play baseball?" You know, he talked like John Wayne. And I explained that I got 2 hits in 2 years, and he laughed. I said, "Both hits came in the second year." And he goes, "Well, at least you showed improvement." So
That's a good one.
Yeah, it was true.
But it didn't
I still
stay
loved
you
it.
away from baseball.
Right.
But you
because
realized
you don't have to be good. You don't have to win. You don't have to be the best player. It was a thrill to wear the uniform.
to hold the bat, put the glove on,
Yeah.
take the ball,
And you're outside, and it's grass, and it's dirt, and it's sun, and it's sky. And I mean, I just believe in it. And I don't think that the children have to be, miniature Olympians. I think it's just play.
go out and have fun.
When I play wiffle ball with my best friend Jonathan from first grade, it didn't matter how good we were. It mattered that we were playing wiffle ball in the backyard.
Right.
And what happens when you argue? Well, we resolved it.
Right.
What happens if we had a disagreement? Well, it probably was washed away by some ice cold Coca-Cola.
We used to have at the school a square. And so a strike was in the square.
Right,
Well,
yeah.
sometimes it landed on the line, and we
Yes.
argue about that. We'd
Yes.
say, "Wait a minute here, that was on the line." We argue, we'd laugh and go back, and
All
you
right.
know.
So that's why.
You need something to drink? We can get you
Oh,
something
no,
to
no, I'm
drink.
fine, thank you. But so many younger people will tell me that their favorite baseball movie is The Sandlot.
Right, right.
And, for me, it's Field of Dreams, it's Bull Durham, it's A League of Their Own. And I said to one of them once, "Why is it The Sandlot?" He goes, "Oh, my goodness. If I could just go to a field with my friends and play just an improvisational game without adults," I'm like, oh gosh, what we've done
Right.
is we take such pride in looking at our perfect little team out there. And for some of the talented players, it's the best.
Yeah.
But for those of us who weren't that good, I still loved it, but I'm glad I had wiffle ball
Yeah.
because that's when you use imagination and you decide that incinerator is second base and that tree looks like first base.
Throw a tire down or a stone
You just
or
play.
a rock. Yeah, have fun.
I think the concept of play, especially for the children of our time now who missed 2 years of a lot of social interaction, the concept of play and conflict resolution, I think that those were really good values that baseball provides an environment in which you grow.
So your dad was a dentist, right? And so you're like, well, he seems to do okay, and
Right.
other dentists. I guess
Yeah.
I'll become a dentist.
Well, and so that's what I studied at the University of Maryland and got into dental school. And I was still working for the Orioles every summer, but every summer I thought was my last. And I graduate from dental school, which is why I have the nickname Dr. Charles. I become the team dentist.
Wow, that's right. That's right.
But the Orioles work in the office was so fun too. So I was practicing dentistry and I was working in the Orioles front office. I became the team dentist. The ball players would come out to the office. And it was one reporter who I'm still friends with wrote an article and he said, Dr. Charles, who has the unusual dual role of being in charge of the video board and being the team dentist. But I didn't make the decision arbitrarily that so many moms and dads were thinking I would have to make. Oh, surely you have to quit the Orioles now. Oh, surely you have to stop now. Well, if I had to, I would, but I decided to not arbitrarily determine that I was at the fork in the road. I kept both going, and I worked a lot.
Knowing at some point one of them is probably going to give, right?
Right, but instead of prematurely, arbitrarily, intellectually deciding that. I just let them both go. And Larry Lucchino, by then, was the president of the Orioles, and he invited me to join him in San Diego. And that was the decision of a lifetime. Because leaving Baltimore, you know, moving to San Diego,
it's a big move.
Working closely with him and seeing his genius even more at work when we built our second ballpark. We had built Camden Yards in Baltimore. Now we built Petco in San Diego. And then it was 7 wonderful years there, and he goes, "We're moving to Boston." You're like, really? You know?
I'm just getting settled in.
Well, having the Pacific as your front yard is kind of nice.
Yeah.
But the baseball opportunity was tremendous in Boston, and so we moved.
And it's Boston. It's Boston.
It is Boston.
That's big.
And it was Fenway Park.
Yeah.
And we knew what was at stake. You know, 86 years, and you know, it was 83 at the time that we were talking about coming, and we know how big it was. But we were in the middle of the maelstrom.
Right.
Winning in 2004, and you know, if all goes well, we'll get to see David Ortiz tonight at Fenway Park. He's going in the Red Sox Hall of Fame.
And you'll be there.
I hope so. Yes.
What do you mean you hope so? We're going to make sure.
Right from here to there. But it's just been this cascade of dreams you didn't know you could dream. And so my words to children in Leominster are, you can dream.
So if you were the commencement speaker at the Leominster High School, they have over 464 kids graduating, not this Saturday, but the next one, you'd say what?
Yes. I gave a commencement speech at the University of Maryland. I said, just remember one word, yes. No is such a door closer and a protector and a way to shield yourself from responsibility. Try things. Get internships. Maybe it's not the internship that you wanted. Well, then do this internship.
Right, you became a dentist, the next thing you're the dentist for the Orioles.
Exactly.
That wasn't the plan.
Right.
Right. But had you not tried that or took that step
right.
In the summer for a
More
month.
things are possible than you have the ability to know. And so when opportunity comes, take it. The Yogi Berra expression is, when you see a fork in the road, take it.
Yeah, right.
So we laugh. But I know what he means, because there was always some understood truth when he would say these things. Yes, go, do, fly, try. Get involved while you're in high school.
Do you think we expose students enough to different vocations? You know what I mean? In other words, expose them, bring them in, show them, this is what it's like, come on in, I want to take you, internships, that kind of thing. Before they make a decision, it seems like a lot of students now have gone through 4 years of school just to find out later on. I met a friend the other day who was an attorney. He said, yeah, that wasn't for me. I said, that took you 8 years to figure out? It wasn't for you?
All right, it took 8 years. But if you do experiential learning, you will find what you like and what you don't like.
And those skills are transferable in many cases as well.
The education I received in dentistry has remarkably applied in baseball.
Right.
And that's counterintuitive. But I'll tell you this, Larry Lucchino, who built Polar Park, saved Fenway Park, is very educated. And when he met me, he liked that I was taking my education all the way. He liked that I was getting a doctorate. It happened to be in dentistry, but he liked that I was academically ambitious, because one of Larry's expressions is, he can be taught. You know, you got to learn an awful lot on the job. And if you come in thinking you know everything, you're defeated.
Right.
If you come in knowing that there's so much to learn. So what I would say at a commencement address in Leominster is, get that job. If you want to get that job as a pizza deliverer at Domino's, get it started. You're establishing a reputation. I think that you don't realize so often at age 16, 17, 18, that number one, we're scouting for good talent. When we're meeting you and shaking your hand, we don't look at you blindly as a fan. We look at you as a prospective employee. And the child who says, oh, I'm the biggest Red Sox fan, I hear you. You know, and even if you're a Yankees fan, I hear you. I need to know, number one, can I trust you? Because if I can't trust you, everything else is not going to work. So your integrity is number one. Are you bright? Are you capable of learning? do you have common sense? That's number 2. Number 3, do you have a work ethic, a drive? Will you give us time?
Fire in the belly.
Yes. And number 4, even if you have those 3, it's not going to work unless you're compatible, collaborative, cooperative, if you're a good teammate. I once had a very bright fellow worked for me, and he was part of a team of about 6 or 7 video people. And he goes, I can't do this anymore. I can't work with them. I said, you condemned yourself with your first 2 words.
I can't, yeah.
Why do that? You might prefer not to. You may aspire to have teammates who are more talented, but you've got to be a team player no matter who's on the team, because if you're not, then you're the problem.
Yeah.
So you look at integrity, intelligence, work ethic, and a collaborative spirit. Everyone looks in the mirror and goes, I can do all 4 of those. And yet it's not that common.
Right. You remember the days when there weren't self-serve gas stations?
Right.
And you go to this gas station, and there'd be the attendant.
You
and
bet.
he'd come out, and he's like squared away.
Yep.
He's got the rag hanging from the back, takes the squeegees, nice, good customer service, checks the oil. But everything he does is with like a symphony.
Yes.
He does it. He passes it through the rag to check your oil.
Yes.
Tells you what's wrong. You're halfway down. You want me to check this? Checks the water. And then he takes the squeegee, and just as if you're at the symphony, he just knows how to do it perfectly without a drop of water later, right? I mean, he's got integrity.
That's
he's got
a
good work
job interview.
ethic. Well, I'm just
He
saying.
doesn't know it,
Yeah,
but that's
yeah.
a job interview.
Yeah.
You're saying, I want that one.
Yeah.
The resumes and the cover letters are fine, but they are the ones whom we are hiring have experience in summer jobs, volunteer jobs with charities, because sometimes they'll say, well, I can't get a job, I'm too young, or, well, you can volunteer in community service.
Sure.
You're establishing a reputation from day one. I had no idea that at age 17 with the Baltimore Orioles, I was being evaluated. That's the thing, is that you don't realize, you think, all right, I'm the assistant to a gopher, so I am therefore looking up at the bottom of his shoe. That's where I was starting. You don't realize that you're being evaluated, you're being watched, you're being scouted.
Because they might say, hey, this guy's sharp. We got to get him on our team, right?
And that's what we do.
So you are really good friends with Larry. I mean, you guys are friends. You seem to click.
It's
You
40
said
years.
he's your mentor,
Yeah.
all of that. But you're 2 different people.
Oh, yes.
And so Larry is as smart as he is, as much as he likes you. He brought you along for your talents that maybe weren't his strengths.
Yeah, I think it's also that Larry has to be play the role of the tough business person, and he has to seem that tough business person.
Yeah.
But we're both childlike fans inside. But I wear it on my sleeve. I don't pretend to be
Like
different.
I'd stop and ask you for directions, or hey, is there a good restaurant around here?
Yeah.
I wouldn't stop him and ask him that.
And yet he'd like to, but
No, I'm just saying.
He would implore us to make sure we're being friendly to you.
Right.
So, these are things that come
I'm just saying,
naturally.
he brought you
we are a
along.
complementary pair.
You complement each other, but still have some of the same
and,
likes.
And I insist on not growing up. When I'm at the ball game, part of the fun for me is taking a walk around the WooSox loop. And you can't eat everything in a day, although it looks like I do. But all right, today I'm going to try we have a corned beef sandwich out at the Plymouth Street Playground. Did
Any
you know
good?
that? Yeah, yeah. It's from the butchery in Brookline. On another day, I'm trying the ice cream in a cup. You have to be careful. You can. If you go to a ball game every day, you want to be careful what you're eating. But
you want to sample.
But you want to know what the fan is feeling.
Right.
Because going to a game as a child or a young adult, that's a big part of it. Designing the video boards. I would sit there scoring a game saying, why don't they update the player's batting average? That's what I want to know. Well, when I got in, I was able to do that.
Right.
Well, why don't you tell me what he's done tonight? Because I was in the line getting nachos his last time up. I missed that he grounded to short. Well, now we show you that he grounded to short.
Right.
So I feel like I'm just the fan who got in. And I just want to resonate with those fans. And that's why I really appreciated meeting the fans of Leominster. And I say past tense because I'm remembering that first time.
Yeah.
But the
Bringing the
fans of
trophy
Leominster have shown me that they're good fans.
978-534-1626. Caller, welcome to the show. Hello.
Hi, Dean.
Hi, how are you, Crystal?
Good. Nice to meet you, Dr. Steinberg. I'm Crystal.
That's Crystal.
Nice to meet you,
She
Crystal.
works down at Hannaford. Everybody knows her.
Oh, is that right?
Everybody knows her.
Have you been to Polo
Yeah.
Park yet?
Yeah, I'm coming to Carter Park tonight, on Monday.
On Monday, on Tuesday, maybe.
Tuesday.
And I'll be at the event on tomorrow too.
Yeah, and she's everywhere.
Good.
Trust me.
All right. Well,
She's
thank
got an
you.
itinerary second to none. Thanks for calling, Crystal.
Take care, everybody.
All right. 534-1626. Dr. Charles Steinberg is my guest. And he's going off to Boston tonight because it's Hall of Fame night.
Yes.
That's
Larry
exciting.
Lucchino is a member of the Red Sox Hall of Fame. He'll be seated down on the field, and we'll be watching and cheering. You see David Ortiz. There's a flood of memories, and for those who haven't met him in person, in my work with him, he was exactly who you hoped he would be. He never let us down.
Yeah. 100%, huh? Gave it all.
Oh my God, he's the best. And it's the things that nobody saw. There was a moment. Oh, this is a moment that this I think will hopefully turn into a baseball musical. Little boy, who he knew, at the Jimmy Fund, battling cancer, and the little boy was coming in for treatment, and it was a November day. No one's at Fenway. It's November, and my colleague is on the phone with Tiffany Ortiz, and she says hello to the little boy, and Tiffany can hear that, and I just hear, "Oh yeah, is he home?" And she hands the phone to this little boy, and he goes, "Hello? Hi, Poppy. Yes, I'm good. I'm listening." And then there's this long pause. He goes, I promise, Poppy." And that no one knows that. We who know. And David is not just one whose theatrical events on the field and at the microphone are his entire story. Right. Yeah, I'm a fan. And Rich Gedman too.
Yeah, Rich Gedman. Wow.
My gosh, what a sweetheart of a gentleman. Oh my gosh. And everybody in Worcester says, "I played with Richie Gedman," and Richard, yep.
Yeah. Caller, welcome to the show.
How you doing?
Good. Say hello to Dr. Steinberg.
Oh, both of you, yeah. Do you suppose you could get the WooSox mascot up here for our summer stroll?
Yes, that's got to be a good idea. Smiley Ball in Worcester, when is that?
June 11th.
June 11th.
Yep.
That's a
3 o'clock
Saturday.
in the afternoon. And
Yes.
then we also have National Night Out, which comes in August. So either one of them would be great.
Yes. Yeah, there's got to be a way. Good. It's
And I'm
easy for
looking
me to
forward
promise that my colleagues do
Day
it.
at the WooSox also.
Yeah, you're going to be there?
July 25th.
Are you coming down? 24th.
24th, yeah.
Of July
I'm
is
hoping to.
Leominster
Now, I
Day.
have a
Sunday.
question for the doctor.
Sunday, July
There's a
24th.
song by Peter, Paul, and Mary called Right Field.
Yeah. I know that song. Right field.
Yeah, I was wondering if that's what you played when you were playing the baseball team when you only got 2 hits in 2 years.
You bet. And let me tell you, I always thought about that song. I rarely play that song in the ballpark because it's so slow. But
Right.
But yes, it was the story of my life. But
I heard about this song from a mutual friend of the three of us,
who's that?
Sherman Whitman.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure, yeah.
From the radio
From
station.
yeah.
The local radio station.
Oh, we
he
love
played
Sherman.
that on opening day of spring training this year, and I looked it up, and I got it on my favorite.
Yes. right field. Oh, the story of my life. They would move me to left field when there was a really good left-handed hitter.
Yeah, you over there, go over there.
That's the right move.
You
Make
don't
no
care.
mistake.
It's like, hey,
There
I'm
was
happy
no
to be
way I was
here.
gonna
I'm
catch
happy
a
to
ball.
be here.
But yeah, right field by Peter Palmieri. Everybody knows center field by John Fogerty, but right field by Peter Palmieri. Yes, for all of us, you know, who
The sounds of silence.
Hopefully I'll see you on Leominster Day at Polar Park.
Well, that would be great, but I do like the idea of Smiley Ball and Worcester coming to the stroll and the night out. So June 11th, that's a Saturday, June 11th,
3 o'clock in the afternoon.
3 o'clock. Let's work on that one.
Also, I don't know if I'm sure you met the mayor of Fitchburg a few weeks ago when he was down at Polar Park when they had their day, and they have this event called Civic Days in Fitchburg, and they have a 4th of July parade. And I don't know if you get the mascot to that parade or not. I don't know if you've talked to the Dean Mayor Dinatelli or not. But
I can send that off. They're probably
Yeah. And
speaking
is
with
that,
them.
do they do it right on the 4th of July?
Yes.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, okay. We're home on the 4th of July that night. We play and have big fireworks, but maybe during the day we can get out there.
Yeah.
So, and you know, I'm not averse to Smiley Ball or Worcester just getting in the van, going out, saying hi for 10 minutes.
You like to go visit all the communities. I listen to your show that you tape with the guys in Worcester every Friday. They replay it.
Oh gosh, I love that show. We just did one this morning with Hank Stoltz.
You choreographed the fireworks, the different themes every song each week.
The one we did this morning, you'll hear, I guess, tomorrow. I actually play the guitar live, and not necessarily well, but you'll hear the anatomy of the original songs we play at Polar Park.
Right. Very good. Nice talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling.
All right, you're watching Inside Leominster. Dr. Steinberg is my guest. We've got a couple minutes left, and then we're going to push him out the door so he gets to Fenway Park on time.
Right.
Actually, traffic heading in isn't so bad as traffic coming out at this time of night. Now, there's a whole another side of you, music. So as last time you were there, I just started, we started talking back and forth with your staff and all your team members and stuff, and they said, yeah, he even did a song for Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis Jr. And I said, nobody knows except for me who they are to begin with.
It's generational. If there's the baby boomers remember the Fifth Dimension.
Right, yeah.
And then there's another generation that remembers Marilyn McCoo as on the television show Solid Gold.
Right.
And then there's a generation that doesn't know what you're talking about.
And they did Shine On Silver Moon. They did so much good music. I mean, they were talented.
Are wonderful. They are the nicest people. And what had happened was I've been writing songs since I was 17. Of course, they were never going to see the light of day. I just wrote them for myself. But one of them I wrote, and I put baseball lyrics to it. That's when I fell in love with baseball. And I was getting a lot of encouragement about it, even from some crusty people. And when I moved to the Los Angeles Dodgers, we had a very big exhibition game. It was Boston Red Sox against the Los Angeles Dodgers in an exhibition game that was a fundraiser. And the agent for Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis Jr. had reached out. We had known some folks in common. And so I got to meet them. And I was thrilled because I was a fan of the Fifth Dimension as a kid. And they were so kind. And so not exchange, but after they sang the anthem, I then had them as our guests at Dodger Stadium. And I'm just sitting with them at the game.
Yeah.
And they know their baseball. And Billy said, I would have gone into baseball growing up in St. Louis if I didn't have music. And Marilyn McCoo is saying, looking at the scoreboard, he's hitting .322. I had no idea he was that good a hitter. Yeah. So I'm like, wow, you all are into baseball. And it turned out then they took my song. That's when I fell in love with baseball, and they recorded it.
Oh, cool.
And then I wrote another song inspired by the commissioner of baseball, for whom I worked 5 years, Bud Selig, who wanted people to have hope and faith in whatever team they were rooting for. So I wrote a song called Hope and Faith, and Marilyn and Billy recorded that one too. And that gets back to what I was saying. There is a baseball musical that I've written all the songs for. Those are two of them. And the music is a big part. And that's why I've written songs that you hear at Polar Park, because I'll write a lot of the PA announcements, and over the years I've selected a lot of the music. Well, if there's not the song that I want, well, then I'll just write it.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
all.
that's why we have WooSox 21, we have WooSox 22, Seven Hills, I wrote about Worcester, Home of the Game, you hear that one. And some of them are gentle ballads, and some of them are rockers.
Yeah.
You know.
And
it's
sitting in your very seat maybe 2 months ago was the drummer, who's a Leominster native, Matt Kelly, for the Dropkick Murphys.
Oh my God, we love the Dropkicks. We would still like to get the Dropkicks to play at Polar Park. We still hold out hope.
I think it'll happen.
We would like them to be the first band to play.
Really?
We would like that. So,
Do they know that?
Ken Casey
Yeah,
knows
Ken
that.
Casey knows. They did a nice. There was a TV documentary on them that one of the TV
good.
stations did not long ago.
Well,
kind of the behind the scenes with Ken Casey.
Look,
It's
the
really nice.
Dropkicks broke the curse. You know, there's irrefutable proof. The song Tessie had been a ditty that the Red Sox fans had sung when they won the World Series in 1903, 1912, 1915, 1916, 1918. Tessie went away. Yes, Babe Ruth went away, and so did the World Championships.
Right.
2004,
Bring the song back.
we asked the Dropkicks to do a new Tessie, and we debuted it on what will be Leominster Day, July 24th.
Wow.
We debuted it, and that's a memorable day in 2004. A rather intense battle. Jason Varitek and
Oh,
A-Rod.
yes, that's right, A-Rod.
That was the day.
Wow.
And that fight took place right after the Dropkicks sang
Had the
Tessie.
crowd pumped up. The crowd pumped the players up.
To this
It's
day,
magic.
the Red Sox have never won a World Series without Tessie.
Wow.
Thank you, Dropkick Murphys.
See that?
Thank you, Matt.
And see the connections. Now you are a big network builder. You engage. You go out. You don't just send out emails. You know,
No.
for a short time,
fun.
there was a time when I think everybody thought, oh, we don't have to build relationships anymore. We just send out an email, and you know, we can
Doesn't
send
work.
pictures and all that. And I actually had this conversation at City Hall one day. I'm like, we got to get back out there. We can't just send emails to people.
There's an expression, 90% of life is showing up.
Right. That's how I close the show every night is, the world is run by those who show up. You need to show up, right? I mean, that's the end of is you got to show up. But I mean, that's the truth is
That's the fun.
yeah, is meeting people. Now, you know people I'm sure everybody's yelling your name when you're walking around.
Worcester,
you know a lot of people.
Worcester as a city, Worcester as a county, so I include Leominster, Fitchburg, the most welcoming community I think we've ever seen.
Your favorite baseball player?
Oh, Brooks Robinson.
Definitely.
Yeah, number 5, Brooks Robinson, greatest third baseman in the history of baseball, 16 straight Gold Gloves. He is still my hero. Still my hero. He is the nicest guy. He validates your heroism.
Right.
You know, when you get to know him, you go, I'm glad he was my favorite.
Right.
So, yeah, Brooks
You
is
made
the
me
best.
proud. All right, your favorite song or your favorite band? Or
Well, it's the Beatles. Certainly the Beatles. And everything by the Beatles. And I'm hoping to see Paul McCartney again soon. I love Her. I love Ticket to Ride. But a non-Beatles song, just talking about with my wonderful girlfriend, is To Sir With Love.
To Sir With Love.
Yeah, by Lulu.
Do.
Yeah. I love the
You can
movie,
hear
love the song.
You
Yeah.
can hear the violins in the background.
Well, interesting. What I've learned about my own musical taste, because my dad not only was an orthodontist, but was a violinist,
Was he?
I do gravitate to the rock songs that also have strings.
Musical, yep.
And-
Marilyn McCool, Billy
Yeah.
Davis Jr.
Yes.
had an orchestra
Yes.
behind them.
You're exactly right.
And they were able to blend it all together. And
We
make
talked about that. We talked about the arrangements are beautiful. So yes, so it can be 3 guitars and drums. That's fine, but I do think I gravitate to the strings. But yeah, so To Sir With Love might be my favorite song, but everything by the Beatles, broadly stated.
I can't wait to get to Polar Park because we were supposed to have a mayor's meeting at the end of the season last time, and the governor was going to come out. But because COVID started to spike up, they ended up canceling it. And last year, just things happen, and if it's not on the schedule, it doesn't happen. And this year, I got plenty of time to make sure that we can all get there and have a lot of fun.
Look, the more we use Polar Park as a civic gathering place, as a community gathering place, the more we are fulfilling the vision.
Right.
Look, I love baseball. It's great. We play, hopefully 75 games. But you've got this wonderful place that people are coming to and finding happiness. Or maybe they are happy, but it's allowing happiness to flourish. And if we could have all the mayors there, oh, I would love that. We love having the children. We've had children's organizations from Leominster there. We had kids from Leominster plant the plate and lay down the bases on August 5th, 2019.
By the way, David Cormier, the city council president, clearly one of your best fans.
Oh, thanks.
One of the most excited fans. People get really excited. This is like an experience.
We feel that. It excites us,
Yeah. You thought you were just building a park and you're going to play some games and help with revitalization of a certain park.
You can do that.
And it turned out to be even bigger than that, right?
You can do the minimum, but it's when you really let it grow.
Yeah.
Our Polar Park ambassador, Diane Flanagan, well known in these parts.
Yes.
She carries the Leominster
She was texting me all along last time when you were
See, I'm
Ask him
surprised
this.
she didn't call me and say, are you there yet? Are you there? But it's one community, and it's a community that has really made us feel welcome in the community, and that inspires us. Our WooSox Foundation has just begun to do the things we'd like to do. But if you're an accredited nonprofit in Leominster, if you're an accredited nonprofit in our region, we will figure out some way, it may be small, but some way to help you.
Hey, something is something.
Well,
right?
we're big on small.
It's better than nothing. You got to have something, like
and
the song.
And we
Gotta
can
have
sing
something.
it. Go ahead.
There's also another part that I see from you, and that is a business person. Not so much that there's this like
Larry
fire in
will
the
say,
belly
no, that's me.
to
That's
make
me.
a lot of money, but you act with everybody that you meet the same way that you're speaking to me, as a human being, as a customer, and you talk a lot about, as in the past when I've talked to you, and what I've found out about you is it's not just the park, it's helping to revitalize a community and the other businesses that end up profiting from and starting their business as a result of the different projects that you've worked on in the past.
Well, I think you want businesses to flourish. When businesses flourish, then the workers have jobs and they bring home the money, and that pays for dinner and that pays for tuitions. I thought about that a lot during the construction of the ballpark, when so many construction projects were shut down during COVID. And we shut down for 7 weeks, but only 7 weeks. And I thought, my heavens, we are keeping thousands of construction workers employed when a lot of other projects are being deferred.
Right.
And that might be rent. That might be the mortgage. That might be tuition. You can really have an impact. And I don't view myself as a business person first, because to me, if you do the good deeds, if you do treat people as people, the business follows.
Right, right.
The business, I think the business success is a result of how people treat each other, not the motivator, not the driver. There are people who go into business to make money. To me, that's not an end. To me, that is a result of doing something good. So if you're a colleague of mine met a little 8-year-old girl and she wanted to be entrepreneurial, he said, okay, here's $7, we'll sell sandwiches. And the question was, do they sell the sandwiches for profit, or do they donate the sandwiches for those who need them? So it starts with the goodwill of let's make the sandwiches.
Right. Because at some point in your life you realize, what do I need?
Well,
right? What kind of lifestyle do I live? How much money do I need? And there are all these other things. So two last questions.
Do the good deeds first, and then you'll be amazed
goodwill
at what
will
happens.
follow you later. Okay. So we're all going somewhere, hopefully heaven or whatever it is. We get to the temple someday, and they say things about Dr. Steinberg, what do you want them to say?
I don't know. That's a deep one. I would imagine you want the good Lord to say, all right, there's my nice Jewish boy. You actually used baseball.
He loved his mother?
Yeah, my mother and father.
He was a good
great.
kid. He was honest. He worked hard.
Yeah, but used baseball as a force of good in communities. Because you don't have to do that. You can just use baseball to say the Red Sox beat the Yankees.
Open the doors, let people
but when
in.
you use it as a force of good, well, I think we're all trying to do the same thing. Look at you. You've been mayor, what, 29 years? 29 years. You have sought to do good deeds for a population that is multi-generational. You were able to use the office of being mayor to do that. We're all, you take a teacher. A teacher is trying to do good deeds with his or her students who come in one way in September and go out another way in May. We're all trying to do the same thing. It's just what
the vehicle.
Yes, what is the vehicle?
Yeah, what's the tool?
And I've been blessed. I thought it was going to be dentistry as my vehicle, but it turns out it's been baseball, and it has allowed me to reach more people than I ever imagined.
Did you know the guys that we had a group from Baltimore that was trying to start a casino here in Leominster? Didn't work out. Did you know those guys out there?
I don't know that.
No, okay.
I mean, I might.
Yeah.
You know their
send you
names?
the information.
Yeah.
We only got a minute left. I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Oh,
it's been
my
great. Remember, Memorial Day is this weekend. It starts Friday night at the Veterans Center. It's the White Cross ceremony. This is a ceremony specifically for those that never came back to homeland. And then on Saturday, we decorate, place flags on all the graves. Go to any one of the cemeteries, Evergreen, St. Cecilia, St. Annans, and there'll be people there from 7:30. It goes quick, 7:30 in the morning, and we'll get those graves flagged. And then on Monday morning, we'll start downtown at 8, and then we go to St. Leo's, then St. Cecilia's, Johnny Rowe Park, and then Evergreen Cemetery after that, and then we'll meet at about 11:30 at Carter Park. I want to thank you very much for coming on. That was great.
My pleasure.
That was my highlight. All right. Thanks for watching Inside Leominster. God bless you. God bless our beautiful country. Those poor people in Texas, to pray for them, to help them get through the toughest time they've ever had. Unimaginable. And in the meantime, remember the world is run by those who show up. This guy showed up. Good night.
Inside Leominster is brought to you in part through the generous support of N.P. Crowley Company Incorporated and by Landmark Self-Storage in Leominster, landmarkselfstorage.com, and by DeCarolis Insurance Agency Incorporated, DeCarolisinsuranceagency.com, and by Enterprise Bank. Enterprise Bank creates success. enterprisebanking.com.
This is LTV.